Hello, Christina with the turned leg. And guess what? We're going on a road trip. Let's go to Ohio and thrifting. Come along. Since I am located right outside Detroit, Michigan, a quick road trip to Toledo, Ohio is not a very long drive, and it is definitely worth it. And on the day I am going, all the Salvation Army stores are 50% off, except white tags. And I don't know, but half off always gets me very excited when I'm shopping. When you first walk into this thrift store, there are always pictures right up front. The first thing I spotted were these silhouettes, which were going home with me. Stay tuned to the end to see everything I bought and what I paid for it. I love the Salvation Army and how color coordinated it is. These are candles and they're $3 each, half off at $1.50. Pretty much what I'm looking for are items to resell. I'm looking for anything that is vintage and old or cool, and I always keep my eyes open. This serving tray will be perfect for the holidays, so I'm picking it up, and oh my goodness, there were just so many things. Now this one is a white tag, so it was not on half off, but it was still such a good deal. I'm always amazed what I can find. Look at that bell. Can you see that? $149, half off. And then mid-century, even though this is handmade pottery, I think it's missing the top. Otherwise, I totally would have picked it up. And more candles. I don't know why, but I'm fascinated with these stamped candles with all sorts of vintage candles. Now, these are not vintage, but they were just such a good price, so I did take some home for myself for the holidays. You know, when you're thrifting, you have to keep your eyes out. I actually regret not getting more because I think they'd be so pretty in the middle of a table. Now, it doesn't look like there's very many things here, but oh my goodness, there were just treasures everywhere. This is another item I really regret not picking up. They were $10 each, so $4.50 on sale, and they are so good for displays, for raising things up. They also work great for storage. Now I'm finding a lot of glass bake items. This one was really cute. It would have been $1.50 half off, but it had a lot of issues. There were stains that looked real permanent on it, so I decided to pass, and then I found this. Yep, milk glass huckleberry pie coming home with me. Stay tuned to the end to find out what I paid. Furniture area looked kind of not impressive, but there were some cool things. I'm never going to pick up a radio, but that was just a cool piece if you're keeping it for home. This desk was $60. It was a white tag, so it was not half off, but man, it was just like in polished up perfect shape. It might not look like it, but it just needs a good cleaning and like a good top coat on there just to restore the wood a little bit. But man, I could have probably picked that up and sold it. I'm not looking for furniture. I'm also not looking for children's items. This would have been $10 for this cute little high chair. I am looking for small shelving, but I think this was a little too rustic, even only at $3.50. So I continued looking because there have to be more deals and more candles. Yep, the bird back there is also a candle. There were just candles everywhere. Someone really liked candles. I don't know about reselling some of these. I don't think I've ever resold one. And these little statues always do well for me. It was only like 75 cents, so of course I picked it up. Same with the bell. Bells always sell. So many good items. My cart is almost full. And look at this. Lennox. Lennox, $2. I don't really need it, but like, how can I pass this up? But there was something I could pass up. I know I'm going to contradict myself, but these Norman Rockwell bells are not going to sell well for me. Little collectibles like this normally don't. And as I take you along, let me just show you the candles. I mean, I've never seen candles like this. And now I'm like, well, because I haven't seen them, seriously, maybe I should have picked them up. Did you notice that piece of pottery? I always flip them over to see if they have a maker's mark. Look, another bird. Candle. Really, someone liked candles. I always find good glassware in Ohio. I was not sure about these. They were marked $1.50 each, I believe. That's a little too high for me. Always check out the Christmas. I'm looking for vintage Christmas. Surprisingly, the only vintage Christmas I found here, I found on the shelf and not in the Christmas pile. So you never know where you're going to find stuff. It's always good to look around. I did find this also on the shelf. Unfortunately, it was chipped or it would have come home with me. those little holly dishes always seem to have chips and nicks, so you really have to be careful. Silver and all things silver colored, aluminum, etc., platters, trays really do well for me, and this was a steal at $150. I could just picture it set up in my booth with a lot of things on it. I'm also keeping my eye out for small, really pretty items. They are selling well. People are starting a lot of small collections. Another thing really hot is milk glass. Off to the next thrift store, which was also a Salvation Army in Toledo, and you never know what you're going to find. So I had to keep my eyes out. And remember, I mentioned in the last store that milk glass was hot, but I think I'm going to pass on this piece. I don't know what somebody did to it. They glued like marbles to it. Not in its original format, but I'm always amazed by what I find at the thrift store and people's imagination. I continued my hunt, and one of the things I've been finding a lot of are those calendar plates. And I recently heard someone mention that they can be reused. In fact, for 2026, 1960 lines up. So, although I passed on this, you might want to keep your eyes open for vintage calendar plates and items that will parallel with the current year. The furniture area looked pretty picked over, but there was this fabulous rocker. I loved the seat. On sale, it would have been $7. I already have so many rocking chairs, so I decided to pass on it. You'll have to let me know if I made a mistake. There's also this cool bread box. Americana is going to be really big next year. Start buying it now, what with the 250th celebration. So I'm keeping an eye out for that. And then I spotted a sweet little painting. Yes, an original oil painting, and it was only $4. Remember, that one was not half off. I figured I should hit a Goodwill. Sure, it wasn't half off, but why not? And I don't get down here that often, so I'm off to shop the Goodwill. They had a lot of furniture. Never tell yourself you're not going to buy furniture, because then you will just see a whole bunch of good things. Obviously, this piece was new, so I wasn't going to take it with me. This one was not new, and it was in really good shape. It was also a really good price. But I'm not taking any furniture. $20 for that waterfall. Those are always fun to redo. The Goodwills in Toledo do seem to have a lot more newer items mixed in with vintage, which makes it harder to look, but there is a lot of good home decor items if you're looking for that. I did get a little excited when I spotted these two pieces, but they're just not my style. It's really important as a booth owner to honor your style. If you're like, it's kind of don't buy it. Don't put it in your booth. You won't be able to display it. You won't get excited about it. It probably won't sell. I had so much fun thrifting in Ohio, and I often do. It's fun just to get out of your area and try a new spot. And I am so excited to show you everything that I found. thank you for coming along and joining me on my thrifting adventure and seeing the whole haul. It was so much fun, and I hope you enjoyed all the treasures. And I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of things, and you guys will let me know everything that I missed. I do want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I also want to let you know that if you're watching this when this video goes live, on my website, shoptheturnedleg.com, I am having a big Iron Orchid Designs sale. All products are 30% off through December 1st, 2025. So you might want to check that out. And then if you are local, my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall is having an amazing Black Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so Small Business Saturday and Sunday sale of 30% off everything. And if you are local, you might want to stop by. That's antiques, that's collectibles, that's home decor, that's hand-painted furniture, that's all the paint and products that I sell. And while you're there, you can shop local from a whole bunch of other small businesses all under one roof. So if you're able, I hope you will check that out. Thank you again. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create.